everyone. It's about 3:30 p.m. It's September 14th. I want to take a look at Tezos. I want to talk a little bit about what could potentially be happening here. Before I get into any of it, of course, as you all know, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research, and I'm just giving my opinion on the market. So let's go ahead and take a look at the charts. We've got a pretty simple chart to look at today. I don't expect I'm going to be consuming too much of your time, but I do want to take a look at what's happening here. Talk a little bit about my trading plan on this guy, which has been a little bit of a disappointment, but you know that's okay. It happens. What I'm basically looking at here is I'm looking at we've got wave 1, wave 2, then we've got a 1, 2, 3. 4, 5 into the 3 here. From this 2 to this 3, that's a decent amount of profit that came off of that guy. So that was 500% right there. Then we did a nice correction here. We pulled back a pretty significant way. We pulled back, 61% pullback. Then what did we do? We went up again, pretty significant. We had, another 400%, markup on price. And then what I think could potentially be happening here is we've got this guy right here. So we'll go ahead and pull this guy from the top here, move our way up like that. Then from down here, we've got a little bit like this guy. And then we're starting to see some support, and the geometry that you can see down here actually works out pretty well. We've got a good amount of support there. Pulling a fib pull on this guy over here as well. I want to pay attention to this. From this 2 to the 3, we came back to the 50, right? So that's a good pullback there. I really have no reason to believe that we can't recognize, some profits all the way up here in this range. So let's go all the way to the top, do the pullback here. Going to change my my style in the pitchfork. So, we've got this going on, and it's worked out pretty well. I know the chart just got pretty crazy really quickly here, but, again, going from down here, we do our dominant pivot high, dominant pivot low. We come up here to the high, we come down here to the low. Now we're kind of struggling a little bit. So I think we probably are going to meet the halfway point. So let me just throw in the 50 on this, which is right there. We had some resistance here. We're kind of inside the center channel now. I would not be surprised if we didn't make our way up to almost $5, and that's probably where this guy is going to stop. So what I'm kind of expecting here, again, I'm going to keep this really short and sweet. What I'm expecting off of this, I'm expecting a 1, a 2 hit the bottom of this again, a 3, a 4, and then we move up for a 5, and then we fall. We see how this correction is going to start from here, working our way down. I would say once Tezos gets to $5, I would say it's probably a good place for a short. Even from right here, we're looking at almost 100% up from where we're currently sitting right now. A stop loss, you've got a stop loss right here at about 230. So, I mean, the risk to reward here, it's actually not that bad. It's not that bad, the risk to reward. And let's just talk about how we manage risk here. Knowing that the target's going to be just shy of $5. It probably will go up there, hit that $5 mark. But let's just talk about how we manage risk. So we're looking for a target up there at $5, which is, it's pretty aggressive. So let's just take the buy, put the stop loss right on the other side of this guy. Because if it gets down here, you're wrong. Yeah, it's a 12% loss, which is pretty significant. But targeting $5, 88% to the upside. And I'd be willing to bet you could probably layer some bids down here, probably at like 247 to 250. Probably will be able to catch it down here. So let's just pull this down right here. Let's pull it down to, I'd probably be willing to put it right here. Limit your risk a little bit more. So instead of a 12%, you're only looking at 8%. Then as far as this goes, you're still looking at, about $5. So you've increased from like 80-some% to 96%. It's really good. It's really good risk to reward. I mean, these are trades that you kind of have to take. Because again, what we've got going on here, let me go to a 4-hour chart and just take a look at this. From the 4, we look like we're doing a 1, 2, we're doing basically a a finishing diagonal where we've got from right here, we've got 1, A, B, C into the 2, and then we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3, A, B, C into the 4, and then we go up for the 5. And the 5 probably is going to work its way down, way out a little ways. You got some time. Honestly, this is probably a 2 to a 3 month trade. If you're willing to wait that long for a potential 90% gain, just start loading up down here. Okay, get your stop loss in a place where you feel comfortable, then you can take it up from there. Just let it ride. Just set and forget. Let that guy just sit there and just go. Let it go up there. And yeah, stop loss down here at like $2, and I've got it set at 232. Yeah, you could set it to maybe 2.25 or so, but yeah, I would say that if we take out this pivot, we're probably going to keep going, and this is probably done. So just be careful with that. But ultimately, this guy looks like he wants to move up. We're seeing a slow grind up. It probably is going to pop. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for Tezos right now. You've got a good trade set up right there. Wait for this thing to come back down closer to 250. We're only 263 right now. Maybe you nibble a little bit here if you'd like, but I would wait for this to come down a little bit. Stop loss here, your risk is 8.35% if you take an average entry of $2.53. But your reward, 96%. That's 11.5 to 1 ratio, which is pretty good if you ask me. I guess the geometry isn't great, but I can still count, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get into this 3, and A, B, C into the 4. I mean, the counts look okay, even from down here. You've got a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, an extended fifth here into the 1. Nice A, B, C here into the 2. We knew what happened here. This was a steep sell-off. And then we've had a nice move up. We complete the 4, and then we go up for the 5. Honestly, I think Bitcoin is doing something very similar. So if Bitcoin seems like it's following suit, I would say that this probably has a much better reward than Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin rolls over, then this is probably going to roll over as well. I think that that Bitcoin is still the king, and it will be for a while. So we have to watch it. But right now, I think Bitcoin is in the starting phases of a 5. Possible this thing comes down here to 220. Not that I want to, this trade setup is right here. This is the trade setup here. If we bounce strong off of this, I might hop back in. But for right now, my stop loss is going to be sitting there about 225, 228, somewhere in that range. So I'll be watching this, keeping an eye on this, because I think this is likely what is being painted in front of us right now. So that's what I'm going to be keeping an eye on. So I promised I would keep this short. I'm going to keep this right now. I'm going to close this off. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to pop to the Discord. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. If you want access to Discord, just throw a comment in the YouTube chat. I'll be more than happy to get in my code out to you. And of course, wherever you are in the world,